live already. That's interesting. Oh,
Okay.
well, something is wrong with StreamYard today.
It's all right.
let's okay. Um, let's do the proper start. Just forget you saw anything. Forget you saw anything. Nothing happened, and well, hello there, folks.
Hello there.
I see you for the first time today.
Exactly. For the
There
first
was
time
no
in a long
anomaly.
time.
Yeah, there was no anomaly. Nothing. I hope it stays the same. Well, it may stay the same, but the topic of the day is time for a change.
Oh, that's true.
Well, and folks, it's not like it's a life change. It's not like something to change with us or with
Oh, I thought we were talking
the.
about menopause.
Oh, Kyle,
Well,
behave.
I see.
Behave, please. We're losing all of our 0 viewers here. Um, well, yeah, it's time for a change, but we'll talk about that later and what that means. Before that, I think it's been a while. Sorry, we've been busy. Kyle's been busy. Kyle's been Eurovisioning,
That's true.
listening to cool songs, exploring Switzerland.
That's true. I was doing all those things.
How was it?
Oh, I had a great time. I mean, I always have fun at Eurovision. Basel isn't the most exciting city. It was a very cozy city, which was nice. It was peaceful. People were friendly. It was very expensive.
Hmm.
But
Like,
Eurovision it's a magical time, and it's a week, and after the week, I'm done with it. I mean, I'm not done with Eurovision, but I'm done being at Eurovision, and then I actually extended by a couple of days to go visit some clients in another city in Switzerland. So instead of coming right home, I stayed extra long.
I see. So you combined leisure and work.
Well, more like I bolted on a trip to go visit some people since I was in the neighborhood.
I see. I see. Well,
It definitely was not a work trip.
that's cool. And I watched Eurovision on my couch.
Ah,
Um, it was
it was
fine.
showing on your couch?
Yes, this is the couch screen. No, I mean it was fine. The Eurovision itself. I'm not. I'm not sure if I don't know. It was weaker than a few other Eurovisions I've seen.
It
It's
was. It was a weak year.
i- the jury was weird, and the third in the finals they came up with the third host
Oh yeah,
for.
that was weird. That made no sense.
Well, some people speculated it's the maintenance thing, like somebody needs to be in the green room and they couldn't do all the stuff, like couldn't be in two places at once. It's I don't know, but like it didn't work.
It was weird.
Like,
It made no sense. It was like all of a sudden here's this third person. Why? It wasn't really somebody that I think a lot of people had heard of. So it wasn't like they
yeah,
found a local celebrity. If they had had someone from, the Eurovision sphere show up, that would have been one thing. Like Celine Dion had been there. That would have been the kind of
yeah,
thing,
yeah,
okay, I understand why we're doing this. But no, they just had some random person and she wasn't really introduced. She just kind of showed up, said a few things, and then I don't know. It was that was a weird choice.
yeah.
But other than in Sweden, nobody watches for the hosts anyway.
Okay, yeah, fair, fair. But all right, so let's get to the topics, and the first topic is Watchers Babble. Though we though we talked about Eurovision, but it's more of a your experience, the trip, and everything else. It's
Well, I did watch it, but
well, there's something else. I'm not sure you watched Frankenstein. I'm not sure it's out,
I
but maybe
definitely
you
didn't
watched
watch
something
that.
else.
So I did finish while I was traveling a wonderful, lovely anime called Kakegurui. Um, I think it's Kake. Yeah, that's the one. Now, so about this one.
Oh, oh,
This is a weird show. Basically, it's about a high school, and at high school, everybody loves gambling all the time. And, everybody's like, hey, we're going to gamble about this or this. And this main character comes in, and she is just unhinged with her ability to take risk and willingness to tolerate loss and willingness to bet everything. And that's kind of the highest virtue in the show. Um, so the show itself, I don't know that it makes a lot of sense. It was enjoyable to watch, although I will say more than any of the other animes that I've watched, it was very highly sexualized and in weird ways, right? It wasn't like people were having a romantic adventure. No, it would be people making weird sex noises while flipping over cards. Or Um,
yeah.
it was just it didn't make any sense. It was trying to sexualize something that wasn't very sexual, um, and I found that to be a little bit uncomfortable. I did watch. This was my second time trying it. I had tried watching it years ago, but eventually lost interest after about half of the first season. And then I watched the Netflix had a U.S. sort of English language version called Bet, that was a live action version, and I watched that, and I'm like, oh, this reminds me of that weird gambling anime. And in fact, the reason was because it was based on that. And that one has a bit of a stronger plot. I don't know that the plot made a lot of sense, but at least it had one. Um, anyway, I enjoyed it. I don't know that I'd say that it's for everyone. It's definitely unique. It's going to be something you remember. It's just a little on the weird side.
Yeah, I think I looked at this one, or maybe I saw the live action, like because I know the description, but I was like, yeah, I think I saw that one. Like, the gambling, it's not my theme really.
Well, and like you
I,
watch the closing credits, and the first thing you see in the closing credits is some bouncing boobs, and
well,
it's like, okay, I see what you're trying to do here.
look, this is not as sexualized as some animes I've seen. Like,
Oh, I'm sure it is not, but it is
it's,
much more sexualized than any that I have seen.
I mean, the jobless reincarnation I talked about is like, oh no, but I mean, like, it's more mature in a sense as well. Okay, so yeah. Also, reminder not to watch anime in public, just in case. Watch anime in public without headphones.
Uh,
As you said in the beginning, that would weird out some people. Because you say they make noises.
uh-huh. Yeah,
Okay.
it's weird noises and weird visuals, and but what are they doing? We're rolling some dice. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. Like watching it on a plane without earphones. Somebody's like,
well,
"What are
you
you
shouldn't do that
watching?"
anyway.
Yeah,
Um,
no, but I mean, like, what are you watching? No, no, they're just gambling.
hmm
Okay.
So anyway, that's what I have watched recently.
Well, going back to as well, I only watch anime these days, and of course, while you were on a trip watching Eurovision, I managed to watch, I don't know, 10 more different animes. Uh, there's just so many. But the one I watched was nominated for the Anime of the Year. It didn't
Hmm
win. I'm not sure it
Mm.
would be a viable win. The winner was Solo Leveling, everybody talks about. But this one has amazing music, amazing soundtracks, and it didn't win the Best Music Award. And I'm like, and the Solo Leveling one, I'm like, are you comparing those two. This one has one of the most interesting songs I've heard in a while in anime. It's the music is amazing, and the anime itself is amazing. And it's Frieren, Beyond
Mm.
Journey's End. So Frieren won the best drama, but it has some, it's fantastical. It has some humor in it. It's a comedy. It's not completely drama. It's a fantasy world where the Demon King has been defeated, and
Good.
this elf, this Frieren, this girl elf, she could live for thousands of years, so she is kind of ageless, and her party members, one of them is a dwarf, one of them is a human, another one is also a human, but like a priest human, whatever. And they, at some point, get old and they die. So she needs to kind of and she's kind of emotionless because of how many years she has lived, but she still learns to be more emotional through her party members remembering. There's a lot of that flashbacks, because the anime basically begins almost like, oh, they defeat the Demon King, they're good, and then many years later, the main hero Himmel, a human being, uh, dies of old age, and
Hmm.
is being referred as the hero and whatever. And then another person dies from her party, etc. She accepts that they age differently,
Mm.
and she takes on a pupil from one of her party members, a small girl who she teaches magic, etc. And they also find that boy who is a warrior. But basically, she tries to journey again, go through the path she's been to again, remember her comrades, uh, and of course fight, have some fantasy, have some monsters, have some tournaments, etc. It's hard to describe. It's like it says beyond journey's end. So her
Hmm.
journey has ended, but all her comrades and friends die out as she lives for a long time. What she what she do now? She creates new connections and tries to understand the feelings, and she becomes better at understanding the feelings of others, though being still kind of emotional.
I see.
And
Okay.
it's an amazing anime. And at the end of the last episode, it said to be continued. As you can see, it's
Of course.
2023. Well, I mean, like it says, the journey will expand. Look, having so many nominations, winning the best drama, and having a rating of 8.9, it will get a new season. I'm
Hmm.
sure of it. And season 2 premiere January 2026. Oh, see, well, we'll
Hmm.
have to wait. But it's an amazing anime. I would really recommend it. It's not your isekai, it's not your shonen, people screaming or people doing sexualized noises, whatever.
Ooh. Oh,
It's there's a hint of romance. It's very slight, small hint of romance, but there's no romance. There's more of that philosophy, psychology thing.
okay.
So go watch Frieren.
Very well.
Amazing anime. Let's get to the next topic, which is recent plays. Well, let me just be upfront. I
Uh-oh.
still haven't played anything. I've only watched anime, and the schedules of me and my friends have not. We kind of cannot find like, oh, I'm free this day. I'm like, oh no, sorry, I cannot,
I
and
see.
so on. So it's maybe I'm just into anime right now. I'm not really searching for party members to play with, but yeah, it's we are to schedule something soon, so
Uh-huh.
I'll get to
Okay.
play something very soon.
All
But
right.
you?
Well, I I discovered something recently. So while I was away, I sometimes it's the only time in the year I really play a video game. is when I'm traveling for Eurovision, and I downloaded a game called Dredge, and I had heard about it because it was apparently the
Oh,
inspiration for a great board game, and that board game is called Deep Regrets. And I finally got a copy of Deep Regrets and gave it a
interesting.
try. And Deep Regrets is a game about fishing. That's sort of the whole thing is fishing. But as you're sort of improving your ability to fish, you're finding things that are more and more troubling in the ocean. It could
Yeah.
be something as simple as a foot, or it could be some sort of monster from the deep that's ready to destroy the world. Our favorite tentacled
Mm-hmm.
great old one may or may not make an appearance on one of the cards. But what you're doing is you're pulling things up. And if you look at, I guess, the picture on the cover shows like a tentacle. The picture on the front of the rule book shows like this huge demon thing that's being pulled up onto a tiny boat. What you're going to do is each turn you're going to decide whether you're in town or whether you're out fishing. If you're in town, you can buy stuff. You can lock in a couple of cards to, there's sort of some trophy spots where they'll be worth more or less. And you can manage your regrets. If you're out at sea, you're going to be essentially using dice, and you'll have a set of dice, and the number of dice you can roll depends on how mad you are. And the more dice you have, the more things you can catch, and the longer you can spend out at
Mm-hmm.
sea, and you can get to the sort of deeper areas. However, those deeper areas have a greater than average chance of providing something scarring. And if you find something scarring, you take a regret card, and the regret will be worth 0 to 3 regrets normally. There's a way to get more, but at the end of the game, the person with the most regrets is going to have to discard one of their trophies. You don't lose or anything, but one of your better scoring items is going to have to get discarded. However, having regrets is a good thing because it enables you to become more and more mad. And the more mad you are, the more dice you can roll, and the more that these kind of weird fish are worth to you. If you have very few regrets, you're going to want the smaller fish. Those ones, the not smaller, but the ones that are fair fish rather than foul. Those ones become worth more. So there's an interesting balance there. And most of the game is literally going out and figuring out what you can get. Each card you can kind of see. It has a shadow on the back. You can see whether it's something small, medium, or large. But other than that, you don't really know what you're going to get unless you use some special abilities. And you're trying to find as many things as possible, manage your time, and have the most points at the end of the game. I really enjoyed it, actually. I thought it was going to be weird, but all of the rules are very straightforward. Once you get into it, it's like, okay, I know how I fish. I fish, I flip over a card, I spend as many dice as I need to, or I say no, thank you, and and I
Mm-hmm.
um, and I take sort of some consolation prize card. You can also eat many of your fish to get a bonus, but then of course they're not worth anything. So there's a lot of things that are going on. The game is a little on the long side. There's a way to play a short game, which is 1 round shorter, and I think that's probably the best way to start. But as at 2, it's a good length. I really enjoy Deep Regrets, and I don't have any about giving it a try.
Well, yeah. I think I saw this cover. I never thought it's something like Dredge. 'Cause I saw Dredge as well. I saw it being played. It's like fishing game with Cthulhu theme or whatever, something Lovecraftian.
Kind
Yeah,
of,
it
yeah. I mean,
sounds.
it's that kind of thing, and I enjoy Dredge the game as well. I played through the whole thing while I was on the plane.
Uh, I Yeah, it sounds interesting. I should try it at some point.
Hmm.
And by the way, I looked at Dredge. I'm not sure about Steam. I looked at on if it's on Nintendo Switch, and as you said, you're
It is.
traveling. You probably played on Nintendo Switch.
That's right.
So it's on sale right now.
Oh, well then,
So
I bought it at the wrong time. Yeah,
yeah, it was something like minus 40% sale right now.
it wasn't that much money.
Yeah,
So
maybe like
there you
20
go.
20 $25. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So as I said, no place for me. because I'm an anime freak. But what do we have for crowdfunding? Do you have any?
Ugh.
Because it's dreadful. It's
Yeah, it is not the strongest period. The one sort of shining star in the crowdfunding world, and I'm checking now to make sure it's still on. The only thing I'm really excited about is Battle Monsters. And Battle Monsters is on GameFound.
I've
I
not
think
seen
so.
that one.
Oh, hold on.
It's
Let me just
probably
find it.
done.
Maybe it's
I
on
mean,
Kickstarter. Oh, maybe it's on Kickstarter. Sorry.
okay,
But, I'm hoping it's not done so that I can legitimately talk about it.
okay, yeah. I
Looks
didn't
like it's
see
it's
like.
still on. It's still on. Um,
Okay.
it's on Kickstarter. Battle Monsters. There you go. So
Mm,
this was one that was sort of keyed in to appeal to me. It's kind of like this is the same people that do Unmatched, so it's Restoration Games. Their stuff's usually pretty good, and this is they're making this. So this is one that was sort of teased to me a few years ago at a gaming event that I went to. But you basically are going to be taking on an army and a kaiju of some sort, and you're going after the other. It's kind of like a little bit like Unmatched, honestly, but at a larger scale. And it has a Godzilla theme, which, to be fair, there are not very many good Godzilla games. There's
no.
sort of the five, well, the ones you would expect. You've got Godzilla, King Kong, Ghidorah, Mothra, and Mechagodzilla, and you can kind of buy them all and then mix and match from there. Each one's going to have its own abilities. Each one's going to have its own unique troops that are helping it, supporting it, I guess. And you're going to play cards and move around and try and kill each other and have a big sort of titanic clash. This
Hmm.
is basically just bait for me. I This is the kind of game
Yeah.
I would have just played the heck out of as a 10-year-old because that's when my brother and I
Hmm.
kind of discovered Godzilla was when we were like around 10 years old, and we just loved them. We loved to watch the old movies even though they were terrible, and we just had a great affinity for it back in the day. And now we're older and and have jobs so we can get it ourselves. But I mean, the 10-year-old me would have just been on fire over this game. And I'm
Hmm.
excited for it now too, at over 10.
So you're probably the mega bundle
Oh, of
backer.
course. Of course. I mean, if you're going to go on Kickstarter, there's no reason not to get everything.
Okay. Hmm. Okay. Um. Plus shipping.
Oh, it's
Probably
not going to
really
be cheap.
expensive shipping.
It won't be a cheap game, but it's going to be the kind of game that I know a lot of the people from the kids from church will want to play with me. I'm going to get this one played. Unlike some games, this is one that's going to have a lot of curb appeal.
Okay. Yeah, it's $125. I'm sure there's a lot of things in there, the production, etc. But it's $125 for just two figurines, two
You don't want
players.
to.
Yeah, but then you have to pay 300 on Kickstarter, and what's the shipping? Oh
A lot.
gosh, gosh.
It's not a cheap game,
So
but
that's
you don't go to
interesting.
Kickstarter for cheap games anyway.
Yeah, but
You go to Kickstarter to
I,
pay more for games and get them later.
well, I might be speculating, but I can see how Continental. Okay, I can see how they're trying to increase prices of shipping to other countries in order to get this cut to match the taxes. So instead of increasing the shipping price in US here, I don't know why these territories are I don't know what it is,
Well, that's things like
but it
Guam and the
okay.
Virgin Islands.
So I'm not sure because that's just speculating, but maybe they're trying to just put those prices onto other regions because they
Well,
think other regions will not buy as many copies as United States.
well, that's true. They
Oh.
know their market.
Yeah, but it's it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. How they try to
Mm.
cover the taxes, increase prices for everyone. Just make it plain. Everybody gets a price increase. Every
Well,
region.
it's definitely not
$65
cheap.
is too much.
That's a
Yeah,
lot for
but
shipping.
$65.
I see 120 shipping to somewhere. I don't know where that is.
All other
I wouldn't.
countries, in
Yeah.
Asia 1, Asia 2, I don't know. Australia is here. Even Australia is $35, but the European Union 65. You're kidding me? You're robbing people.
Mm,
No, I hate that about restoration games should work in their shipping policy.
okay.
You should make do something. Increase prices for everyone. Make it more smooth for every region. I understand what included, but if you ship from China to European Union, the ship goes through customs. Do U.S. company do they have to pay taxes or do they have to pay U.S. taxes still if
No.
they ship to Europe?
No.
So the European Union tax to China is much lower. Why the price is much higher here for
Well,
shipping?
I have
Well,
no idea. I don't work at that company, but I
I
am
know. I'm
excited about the
just
game, and I'm excited to
yeah.
get it in 2 years when it finally arrives.
I'm just trying to reprimand some behavior, bad behavior. All right, Inish, big box. I couldn't choose any. I didn't know what to choose, but the
Yeah.
thing is, Kemet was reprinted at some point. Now Cyclades was reprinted. Inish, it was kind of in that Metagots line of those battle games. And Inish was not a bad game. It's drafting. It's very close drafting because you don't get new cards every round. You stick with the same small pack of cards and
Hmm.
you just draft them. It makes the game more strategic. I don't know anything about expansions. I've never played them. It's a territory control. It has this. It's a bit weird in a sense. The fighting. I don't remember much about the game, but if you wanna hop on and back Inish, it might be your um it might be
Yeah.
the
I don't know.
chance.
I'm willing to give this game another chance. I was kind of underwhelmed by it originally. I didn't love the gameplay. I didn't like there was some sort of weird thing where you had to like get two ways to win and then announce it and then people would
Yes.
take you down on
Hmm.
one and it just felt like all and I did not like the shape of the maps. It was this weird jagged shape and they were kind of difficult to fit together and see how that didn't make any sense. It made it
Yeah.
difficult to shuffle them too. Um, but I don't know. I'm interested in this one, but it's more cautiously interested. I'm not sure how well this game has aged.
Yeah. I'm not sure as well. I'm just showing something because it's not the biggest month for or I don't know, it's the biggest few months. It's probably because of the tax politics, etc. that some companies have uh are now waiting to pull out another project, you know.
Mm,
So there's less projects that definitely influenced by that. The interesting thing is that Metagot they kept Kemet, which is fine. They kept Inish, but they didn't keep Cyclades.
mm,
Maybe because of that Legendary Edition production they didn't want to make. But on the other hand, like with all those three games, Kemet and Cyclades would have been the ones to keep and Inish to let go. But it's just weird and interesting how they keep on supporting Inish, but
yeah, I don't know that this was one of their big sellers. I don't. I know many people. Some people liked it, but I again, I'll probably get this just because I have a problem. But
of course,
I think I'd like to play the game again and see if I liked it. Maybe current me would like it more than several years ago me did.
and that's interesting. Look at the price. It's Druid of Nemet. It's 65 euros for the big box, which the box and two expansions. I'm not sure how uh, what's in the box? Is it just cards and well, it seems
And the
like there are
boards.
some miniatures,
Hmm.
the cards, boards, and stuff. But is it included? Is this one included? Because if it is, I'm
There's
like,
only a couple of versions.
well, all the plastic included $65.
Mm,
That's not much. It's cheap.
yeah.
And look at these things. Okay, United States plus 50, which is okay. 2018 and so on. Europe, usual prices. Say so they do not uh,
I'm wondering how
spit.
big this big box will be.
Well, I don't
I
know.
don't think it'll be like the Kemet and Cyclades boxes. Have you seen the new Kemet box?
You
The
mean
Kemet big
the
box?
they made the Kemet big bucks. Yeah, yeah. No, I've seen it on GameFound, but I don't know how huge it is.
It's
The
huge.
the maybe the Cyclades box, which there.
It's bigger than the Cyclades box.
Oh, bigger
It's huge.
than. Oh, I see. Okay.
Well,
Well, Anyway, I'm just saying,
okay.
fix your shipping prices. Do something about that. Then more people will back your game. All right. Let's get to the next topic, which is buy, try, goodbye.
All righty. So for today, I was making my list of games that may need a change and found a couple that I decided to put on here. So I'm hoping you have not played these. The
Well,
first one we're going to talk about is a very popular game. I think it came out last year. It is a trick-taking space game called Arcs. And
mm-hmm.
ARCS, there you go. In Arcs, you're going to be playing cards and you're leading a suit, and people can follow that suit. And if they do, then whoever's doing better at it is going to get more actions of a specific type. Or you can choose to play a card just kind of face down and have a weak turn, but do whatever you want. And what you're trying to do is move around, occupy territories, occasionally fight each other, and build up your civilization. I have never had a good play of Arcs. It's a game that I know lots of people like, but it feels like there's something missing in it to me. So that's why I think it's a good one for today's topic. But I see a lot of potential there. I think the sort of interesting aspect of the card play could be fun. I just wish it's one that might need a little bit of help. The second game we're talking about is a game called Sorcerer. And
Okay.
Sorcerer is from White Wizard, or whatever they're called now.
What a bad name, sorcerer.
Yeah, trust me.
Is
When
it
you
this
look at
one?
the
Okay.
artwork, yes, it's this one. If you look at the artwork, you're going to see that it definitely needs some help there too. So
Oh,
Sorcerer
oh,
is
oh.
it's an interesting game. You are some sort of a sorcerer. It's sort of you're shuffling up a sorcerer in some schools, and then you're going to go at it and attack each other. It's that kind of a game. It's a very interesting
Okay.
looking game. It's not really the best looking one, and that's some areas it could
Um,
use a little bit of help.
yeah, yeah.
But it's
Sorry.
it's a nice kind of head to head game that just has maybe a little bit too much going on to be as simple and straightforward as it's trying to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then the final one is a very simple game. We're kind of
What?
going from heaviest to lightest.
Okay.
Is called Cheating Moth. And
Yeah, I
Cheating
heard that one.
Moth is a game where you're trying to get rid of your cards. Of course, hook is that there's a kind of card called a moth, and the only way you can get rid of it is by cheating. So you have to get rid of it some way or other by throwing it under the table or putting it in your hat or tucking it under with another one. And
Yeah.
that part is interesting. The part that's less interesting is there's all these other kind of take that cards that really get in the way. It's difficult to there's not really any icons on there that will remind you what they do. So there's a lot to remember here as you're trying to deal with anything other than the moth and the basic cards. It's an interesting premise. Of course, one person is just watching and has to play normally, and that's a very boring role. If you get that one, you're not cheating and you're just sort of watching everybody else trying to catch them, and it's not that much fun. So there's a couple of small things I would probably change in this, but the core premise is very interesting. So there are three somewhat flawed games that might
Yeah.
could use a change and that you can talk about.
Well, hmm. Yeah. I don't know. That's hard. Cheating off, you say you should cheat or lie however you want in order to get rid of cards. That's not. I don't like. Uh, I, I'm not the biggest fan of bluffing games, though. I can bluff, and I mean, in some games, I could do well. I don't like bluffing games. I don't like games about lying at all. So
Oh, you're
cheating
not bluffing
off,
in this. You're trying to ditch cards secretly.
yes. Which I don't know. I just don't like that.
Okay.
Which means it's goodbye for cheating off. That's a small card game. Who cares? Well, arcs. It sounds weird. Like it looks like a space game, an epic space game, and it looks like a coin game, similar style to. I mean, like from the outside, if you look at the
Oh, okay.
box, you look at the what was the coin games, whatever Root and etc. It has the same art style. So something like there was another game that was not Root but something else. It's also four letters. It just kind of from the outside you look at it like, oh, is it a coin game? No, it's not. It's a trick taking game. So I'll give it a try, but I'm not enamored with trick taking games. Um, so that means Sorcerer is a
Oh, there
buy.
you go. Jump right
Well,
in.
it's about
It's
magic
a
and
good game.
stuff. It's ugly, and it's probably where you play cards. Like if nobody's watching you and you play cards and you're like, oh, 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 because it's so ugly, and people think
Are
that
we in
you're
Kakaguri
watching.
again?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's about playing and making loud noises. We should do that on the
Okay,
cruise,
we should. We should definitely try that.
and then
Hi.
shirorororororor.
Exactly. All right.
uh, inside jokes. Anyway, that's it. Buy sorcerer, try arcs, goodbye, cheat him off.
There
Don't
we
lie,
go.
don't
Goodbye.
cheat, people. All right. Okay, let's get to the topic of the day, which is time for a change. Well, I've been thinking about, we talked about, we had these topics in a different fashion. I would say we had it as a top five or top 10, whatever. We had, we did it a few times. I think we did at least two times. I don't know when, and if anybody watched that at all, if anybody remembers. But this time I wanted to make it as a discussion topic, just to
Okay.
throw in a game that you think needs a change,
Hmm.
any kind of change, and describe this change. Describe what you want to see instead. Uh, I don't know. Just pick some ideas, or and maybe ask me, and I get like we throw games at each other, and we try to come up with what can be changed. How can we revise the game?
Okay.
So, do you want to start?
Yeah, I can start. The first one that I had on my list is a game that so these are mostly well, I think they're all games that I enjoy. Um,
Yeah.
First one I have to talk about is Vagrant Song.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Good choice.
Vagrant Song is a dungeon crawler. It is a really interesting one where it's a very small one, right? You've got a very small board, but by the use of tokens and placement and special rules, each scenario is going to feel different. Your main mechanism is pulling chips out of a bag, and then those chips are going to let you do certain actions. Um, and you're trying ultimately to fight these ghosts and remind them of their humanity by beating them up, and that's real interesting. And I love the game. In fact, I've had great times with it. It just came out with an expansion, and the expansion is not quite what I thought the expansion was. What the game really needs. What the game needs is there's like 20 scenarios, but the only way to play them is in a full campaign where you play through all of them, right? Because they progress,
Yeah.
and you need to have certain things. If you were to just open up one of the really interesting scenarios from late in the campaign and set it up and play it, you would find yourself horribly underpowered. And yeah, I guess you could go through this huge deck of cards and find the items that you think would be interesting for you. But that's first of all a lot of work, and secondly, you might find yourself being overpowered, and then they won't be fun, right? If you play through the campaign, the progression is neat and clean, and you sort of are ready for every challenge when you get there, and it still feels like a challenge. But it really needs the ability to open up and just play this scenario and that scenario, because it's a very long campaign. Who wants to play 20 games in a row
Yeah.
of the same thing? Um, so that's what this needs, is one-off modes. And I thought that Off the Rails was going to be that. I thought that's how we're going off the rails. No, Off the Rails was just a hard mode. And
Why?
um, I was real disappointed by that, actually, because I was really hopeful that this is finally going to be the kind of thing that I can go back into and show people. Because if you were to want to play it, the only scenario we can play is the first one. And the first one is fine, but I've played it several times, and it's not like it's going to change. Um, so I really wish that
Yeah.
this game had jump in and play one-off scenario mode.
That's exactly why I sold the game. And like, I mean, like the idea is the same because I played it only once. I played only the first scenario, and then I saw the problem. I have to go through campaign, but I need to schedule these new scenarios with the same crowd, and it was not easy to schedule that. Okay, I'll play with other people, but then I have to start from the beginning. Like, let's say I would play 3 games with one crowd, one group, and then after that I find a new group. I cannot just start from the scenario 4 because it will be tricky to explain. Because I looked through it, it had new rules added throughout the campaign, so the rule book was not a complete rule book with all the rules. The rules were inside the campaign book, and that's another thing. Like, do not do that because now okay, so I forgot that rule, so I have to go back to scenario 2 to read these rules again that are used. As far as I heard, there are some
I
rules that
don't
are
remember
used.
that. I remember.
Maybe,
I
but
mean, each scenario has its own special rules, but the core rules are pretty much all in the rule book. They're just not very
okay,
well organized.
okay, maybe that.
And there is a
Yeah,
new rule book with the new edition, so maybe that part is improved.
yeah. I would narrow it down to 10 games campaign. 10 games is fine. I mean, 10 games you can get through. It's your usual. Pandemic is like 12 games if you do it perfectly. You know, uh, Clank is around like 10, 12 games. I don't remember. So so make it 10 games. Make it that I can just pick any scenario and play it. Uh, that it's like the Near and Far did. Near and Far had a campaign mode, but then the adventure mode and stuff like that, where you can just pick a thing. But if you go through the campaign or a character or something mode, I don't remember exactly, then you get these extra stuff like keeping
That's right.
keywords and stuff. Do it here as well. I think that would
Right.
be perfect and
Yeah, and
streamline
for
it.
each one, say, here are 5 items to pick from, right? Just jump in, find these 10 things, and this is how you play it. Because that's what Primal does, and that's what Primal does so well, and why I like it so much. There's a campaign, but if you don't want to play the campaign, you say, I want to fight this monster. And the game says, okay, do you want to fight it on easy, medium, hard, or very hard? And you
Yeah,
say, okay, well, I want to fight it on very hard. All right, you're level 3. Here's your list of things. Go through, pick 4 of these, pick 3 of these, and you're good to go, right? You're leveled up. The
yeah,
monster's leveled up. is go play it, then put it away, and you're done. No campaign, no need to get
Yeah.
married to it. I really wish that Vagrant Song did that because I would play it a lot more.
Yeah. So for mine, I chose the obvious ones, but um, all these games I enjoyed. Some of them I still love. Some of them I would love to see in a new code. And one of them is the GOAT, Dead of Winter. It's the
Okay,
GOAT to be redone because I enjoyed the game, but if I would pull it out today, it would be outdated.
it would be.
Uh, I liked the dice system. I
Hmm.
like that the zombies are a threat, but they're like flies. They're like they are they can kill you, but then they can also be just a small nuisance to you. It's not like they are huge things and you need to shoot 100 bullets at them. Um, but I don't think the semi-cooperative nature works for that game. What I would do is just lose it, make it fully cooperative version, maybe with more character development. Like you're not really having a group of survivors. You have a one particular survivor, and let's say if they die, then you replace it for a new one. Let's say
Hmm.
something like that. Just one, and then we have to revise the actions. You have to revise the stuff, the things. Maybe some zombies take something from the long nights, and have some zombie mutations. I would make it a board where you do not just I cross it, I roll the die. I would make it a map, like a dungeon crawler thing, where you walk around, then you can go back to your base. Like in Near and Far, you have this kind of a worker placement, and then I go on the map, and then you go out and scavenge. Maybe something like that. I would love to see something like that. And crossroads cards, forget them. Make an app. There will be certain spaces that trigger activate, some random spaces trigger activate, that the crossroads will activate more often, and not this stupid like if that person looks too much to the left, you have to read this card to them. Like, no, I have to always look at this card, and then I have to remember, and then did they do that? Did they do that? It's like, no, it's such a bad idea. We've seen now freelancers, Forgotten Waters do it so much better, Wandering Galaxy, etc. So come back to Dead of Winter,
Yeah.
remake it, or even make it a new freelancers Forgotten Waters type thing
Yeah,
in a
that
zombie apocalypse
that's
verse.
that's what I would want to see. I don't know that I've played the fully cooperative version. It's not all that much fun. I but if they would give it the Forgotten Waters treatment and have it be sort of that sort of type of a game where it doesn't have to be as humorous as those, because it's a darker
Yeah.
theme, or it could be, but have it sort of have that treatment because obviously when this one came out, that technology wasn't really even available, but
Mm-hmm.
now it is, and they've done it well, and they know how to do it. And I think if they were to take this premise and give it that treatment, I think that'd be great. Now the problem I think might be I'm not sure that Plaid Hat still owns this game.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I think they might have left that one behind because when Colby came out of Asmodee, he took Summoner Wars, he took Ashes, and he made Forgotten Waters, and the rest he kind of all
Uh-huh.
left behind. But I would love to see, honestly, Mice and Mystics done in that kind of a style as well. I think that would be a great way to kind
Yeah.
of have that
Well,
experience.
the problem is that if you make them in the style of Forgotten Waters, etc., they you lose them. It's going to be a completely different game.
It would be.
Well, with this one, I still want to save that format just to expand and the ideas of that, lose some other ideas. I want to see this in a different way, but if they make like if we say they don't hold the rights, then they can just make a zombie
That's
apocalypse
true.
version of Forgotten Waters. But it will not be Dead of Winter. And the same with
Mhm.
Mice and Mystics. They can make it mice somewhere, or rats, whatever, in a fantastical world, it
Well,
will
there's
not be the
Aftermath,
same.
which is basically that. But
Because I would combine my some mystics ideas of dungeon crawl with this the winter thing. I want a dungeon crawl in this Walking Dead theme situation. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard
have you
to.
played
It's hard to
Aftermath?
redo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
It's a good choice. I agree. This is one I would like to see kind of revisited 20 or 10 years later. When did this game come out? 2012?
17.
No, is it that late?
Oh, 14. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's been at least 10 years.
Oh,
It's probably
yeah.
time to sort of
14. Wow.
give it a new coat of paint.
Well, it came out. Oh, it came out. I think 2014 December or something like that. Did it?
That's fair. That's about right because I was kind of into Plaid Hat when it came out, right? Because Summoner Wars came out in 2009. Um,
Yeah. Okay. Uh, what's your next game? We're gonna do
all
a
right.
few of them.
Yeah, that's fine. The next game I have is a game that I always want to love, and I keep buying, and I keep being disappointed with, and that game is Zombicide.
Okay.
So my biggest issue with Zombicide, I like lots of that. I like lots of the improvements, and in fact, Marvel Zombies probably is the ultimate version of Zombicide, but it also feels the most different. Um, the biggest issue I have with Zombicide, and I recently got the White Death stuff, and I set it up and played it, and 100% of the scenarios require you to play with 6 characters.
Mm-hmm.
100%. There are 0 scenarios for solo. I mean, you can play solo, but you've got to control 6 characters. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to sort of have, if I've got 4 people around, I don't want, okay, here are 4 people, and I'm going to control 1 extra, and you're going to control 1 extra so that we can play this game. I just don't think that that is good game design to have it be that fragile that it needs that much overhead. The game is fine, right? I mean, all of it's a schlocky game anyway, where it's sort of run in, roll some dice, and see what happens. There are some rules changes I'd make to the game too. Many of them have been, again, implemented by Marvel Zombies, to be honest. Um, and I think I would like to see some of the lessons from Marvel Zombies put back into regular Zombicide. Because in Marvel Zombies, you can play with fewer than the suggested number, and it works fine. It might be a little harder, but not that much. Um, I enjoy some, the targeting rules; those have changed over time. The search rules. There's a lot of things that might need a little bit of refreshing. This is an old game system. I think. I mean, this is one of the first Kickstarter games from back in the day. Um, and I would
Yeah.
love it if if it got and also, and this is me, I love the game, but all the scenarios kind of feel the same, right? The game
Mm-hmm.
comes with a book of 15 scenarios, but they're all kind of, okay, there are zombies starting over here instead, and you have to unlock the blue door before you kill this character or whatever. I wish there
Mm-hmm.
were a little bit more variety, but the biggest thing is give us some scenarios for fewer than 6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I only played Marvel Zombies, and I felt like the game is just very procedural, uh, on a cheeky side, and like hordes of zombies, whatever they spawn at the same thing. I can totally see. Uh, well, I don't know why some. Maybe it's impossible for them to figure it out. Why designers do this? Like they scale the game to a certain amount of players, but they give you like, but you can play it with fewer players or more players, whatever, and you can play with any range of players. It's going to be good. But then they don't scale it well. Like they don't fix it for the fewer players. Because I don't. I also I'm um I don't like playing several characters. I want to play one character, develop this character, feel like this character. I'm that guy. I want
Yeah.
to play that guy. If I play several ones, I feel disconnected from the world.
And if you're running 6, it's very easy to forget which one is where, especially because these are, blob of brown plastic. Yes, they've got a base, but, you know, who's taking a turn, and what does this special? Okay, yes, you're the one who's good at that and that. You really feel disconnected from it. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, I wish, and if you go online, you'll see some people say, okay, if you want to play with just 2, then turn this off and turn that. But I wish the game would do that as well. And I can't believe that no one has asked for this because it just really feels like the new additions are okay. We're going to change this one tiny rule and have the zombies be in ancient Japan, or we're going to change this rule and have the zombies be in the great, in the Wild West. And there's not really any effort going into improving the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's at the point
Okay.
where I probably won't buy the next Zombicide set just because I don't see it progressing. I don't see any improvement in it.
Yeah. Uh,
Now, I'm saying
um,
that now. Um,
they're just pumping out different themes, it seems, like with small rule changes, as far as I heard. So
right.
we'll see. For my next game, of course, this is the game I love, but this is the game where, and there are different new editions. There's a newest edition on GameFound that's being now developed. I'm not sure exactly what changes does it bring and how is it played. But if we take the original one, how can we change it? And that's Nemesis.
Mm-hmm.
And yet again, I love the game, but I have issues with that. First of all, um, the uh, first of all the semi-cooperative nature of this needs to be gone. It's done better than in Dead of Winter, but you just need to understand it doesn't work. It might work as a video game. It doesn't work as a board game. And this game is difficult. This game is swingy. This game is random, so it can be a really bad experience. It has this player elimination thing. Well, I would, and it has a variant, a fully cooperative variant at the back of the rulebook. That's how I play it. I play it 2 players mostly, and it's amazing as 2 players. Um, and but I would make it fully cooperative in the main rules. Revise the rules, revise the combat a bit. Second thing, uh, the noise thing is fine, but maybe back down on that noise thing. I don't know exactly. Maybe it's fine. Uh, then the rooms you go into, they have a specific item you can search for. What I would do, I would create a market of cards. I understand it would take away from the theme a bit, but I would create a market of cards like there's this ammunition or weapons deck and your healing deck, whatever the tools deck. I would put like 3, 4 cards out, like a market of cards. So if you go into the room and you search, you can either take the card available to make it less random, or if you don't like any of these 4 cards, take the card from the top of the deck. Yes, it's a bit weird. It's a bit less thematic, but it would take away from that too much randomness. Also, the weapons, the ammunition is so scarce that, like, I want to fight the aliens. I don't want to always run away because I don't have bullets, and it's hard to get bullets. And if you find a new weapon, if you find the weapon thematically, it only has 1 bullet in it. Oh, the last round. It's like, why only 1 bullet? Why maybe okay? Let's do a random thing. You find a weapon, you roll a die. Depending on how well you roll, you either find a fully loaded or half loaded, whatever. It's like few bullets or all the bullets, stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
and make it easier to find bullets. Make it a separate thing. I want to find or have more bullets with you at the beginning, stuff like that. I don't know. It's like more firepower. The characters are fine. Maybe some characters need to go. They're not as exciting. Revise all of that thing. Uh, there can be those expansion stuff, etc., all the other stuff. The board, well, I wouldn't change the map because the layout is you have level 1 rooms and then level 2 rooms on the outer circle. Um, at least I know exactly that the room I'm searching for is in the level 2. If we would mix and match all of them, that wouldn't be a wise idea. It would randomize the things too much. So lose some rules, and yeah, the rest, as I said, just I just want to be more powerful. I just want to fight more, and I want to do it cooperatively, and no player elimination, or somehow like the fully cooperative version. It has the thing. If you take my corpse and you bring it to surgery room, I will wake up again. So I'm revived. Some reason, it's like, but maybe make it like there are already those injuries things that you become less and less powerful. Just keep it at that. Like you cannot really die, or you can get knocked down, but I can come to your room. I don't know, give you an antidote, yeah, and bring you back up. I don't have to search for that surgery room. It's like you're knocked down, not forever, and you stay in that room until I come, and you know, and the thing is that while you're in the room with the alien, you only have these options: you can fight or you can run away. No, let's say I want to do something else. Let it hit me. I don't want to shoot it. I don't want to run away. Maybe this new mechanism, like you can revive if you spend 2 cards or 3 cards, you can revive your comrade in that room with the alien. That would perfect. I get you up. You have enough bullets. I'm not the firepower. Let it hit me. You will deal with it next round. Something like that. There's so many ideas how to make the game better.
Yeah, and I think another thing that this game needs is about half as many rules. Because this game is sort of one of those, when I think of it, it's one of those games that has a special rule for special situations that may never come up. But, on a Tuesday, if somebody happens to roll that die and get a 2, then, we got to do something slightly differently. And those make the game very difficult to learn, very daunting to teach. And it feels like I really hope that the new version of this, somebody goes through and scrapes out a lot of those extra special rules and just sort of leaves it more for the, adventure and fun part of it and less for the, okay, well, and also some parts of the procedure. There's a lot of procedure in this game, right? There's the way that we do these different things. It just sort of feels kind of like it's limping along, and it's not supposed to. And the game, at its best is sort of this explore and adventure type of a thing and see what happens. And when we try and add too much to it, it really bogs it down.
Yeah. I wanna have adventure and fighting power, as you said. Yeah, I think I said as well. Like revised rules, less rules. Yes, more streamlined. Definitely. There is that back development thing, which is interesting, but it's like each time I need to do a back development, I have to go to the rulebook and see. Okay, I pulled out an adult. I pulled out a baby. I don't know, remember. Lavra. I pulled out the king, or there's like different gradations of those. Right. I'm like, what does it do? Oh, this one adds another alien. This one needs you to roll a die. This one needs you to do this. I'm like, I'm never gonna remember that. I always have to go to the rulebook and look what it does. Like, why? Lose all of that. Make it streamlined. I want the adventure. Yes, as you said. Just go blast the aliens.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, let's do. I have few that are really quick changes. So.
Okay. I mean, I have a lot of. I wrote down a lot, but we don't have to talk about them all.
No. We'll just talk about a few more. But
okay. So the next one I have to talk about is a game that I really like, but I never get to play. And this game is Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea. Sorry, I'm just going to clear my throat very. There we go. So Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea is it's a big game, right? And you have it's the 4X style game, and you have your own kind of special character, and there's a bunch of different ways you can win. And you can already see this huge map, right? This game doesn't scale very well, first of all. It's best at, larger numbers of players because otherwise you've got extra map stuff that you just don't use, and you're supposed to remember, hey, well, we're not going over there. Lots of these, I wish there were better ways to sort of telegraph and remember the special abilities, because if you're teaching the game, you obviously have to know everything and remind people to do things. And if you forget, okay, this is the guy who can jump to the desert, well, that's going to change how you play the game. The combat system, I think, is probably the weakest. It has this it's sort of the rock paper scissors, but if there were 17 different iterations in there,
Mm-hmm.
it's this card beats this, but only if this was played first, and it's not very intuitive to know how you're going to do it. I enjoy the card play, but I wish there were half as many cards. Um, or give each person a special one, right? If we want to have some special powers. So I wish it were a little bit shorter. So there's a lot that I guess I wish we could change about this. But first of all, I wish it would scale way down. The expansion adds 2 more players in case you want to play it with 8. But playing it with 2, which is the count I'm most likely to play it with, is difficult. It requires a lot of work to kind of get the board ready for just 2, and to get both players ready to kind of, okay, remember, we just have to remember to ignore this island, because it's not
Yeah,
balanced for 2 players. It's the island of not balanced, and
I don't like that.
I don't know that if you're going to tell me it can be played with 2, then have 2 really work. Um, and then I wish the combat were a little bit more streamlined, and I like the different player powers. I don't want those to go away, but yeah, I wish they were a little easier to understand for other players, so that you can make strategic choices rather than, oh yes, I forgot my ability, and I'm in trouble now. Uh, so I wish that this game were just a little bit more playable.
Yeah, I've never played that one. Remembering you said like we need to remember this island is not available for us. There are several games that do that. Um, Kemet, it's not as bad because Kemet had some kind of tokens to cover those land masses. I think so, maybe something like that. But it's
New Kemet does. And in new Kemet, it's great, but if you're playing 2 player, which you really shouldn't, but if you're playing 2 player Kemet, there aren't tokens to cover it. You just have to remember the other side of the river
oh yes,
is unbalanced territory, and I don't know why.
yeah, and that's what I don't like. I understand the idea, Kemet, etc. Everything being at the same amount of spaces, but that's where modular boards really work well. Like encyclopedias, even encyclopedias, the old one had different folds that you combine together
That
if you
was
play
real
it like,
confusing.
but really not. I mean, like you have this number written there. It's for 2 players, and you combine the 2 together. At least it works. At least the
It
map is
worked.
different for each
Hmm.
amount of players. That's the thing. That's what I want to see. And I don't like where I have the whole map. Sorry, I cannot go there because I play with few players. It's like it just confuses me. I want to play on the whole map. It's like just took somebody cut half. I ordered the cake, but then somebody just cut half of the cake. I'm like, it's only half for you. Like,
Hmm.
no,
Or
I'm
somebody took a
hungry.
great big bite out of it before giving it to you.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
it's stuff like that. Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I'm not playing the one, so I don't know exactly what to say
Well, if
here.
you find 5 other people, we can play it at the only count that works kind of out of the
I don't
box.
I don't have that many friends. You see, I'm not playing at all. Uh, okay. Yeah, it's sad, no friends. But with this game, I had a few friends, and I'm gonna do 2 because one of them is just a small thing. I'm gonna do 2 because one of them is just a brief thing.
Uh huh.
Uh, So in Stockpile, which I adore, I'm not really thinking about much. Maybe revise the latest expansion. I don't know. Just make a new big box with more deluxified components.
Okay.
I want to see poker chips. That's it. The rest, I'm not sure how to do something about Stockpile. It works well. It works as it is. But I want a poker chips.
Okay.
That's it. I do have poker chips from the Brass Birmingham. I bought them separately, and I play with them. But I want the dedicated poker chips for Stockpile. That's it.
Okay.
So that's the one. Very quick.
Well, that's
very
easy.
And the second one, also very quick. The Golden Ages. Great game. Great game.
Amazing artwork.
This one needs everything new.
Really
New
does.
arts, new boards, new components, new like it needs this kind of a Awakened Realms, Castles of Burgundy, revamp production, this kind of a glorified production. Otherwise, I'm sure I'm going to be fine with the game itself because I really enjoyed the game as a Civilization game. I'm not really sure what I can change. Just change the components and the arts, and I might buy it. Well, that's two for you, but really quick ones.
Okay. Well, my next one's kind of like is going to be pretty short too, and this is really unfortunate because there has been a new edition. In fact, there have been 2 new editions of this game, and they still haven't gotten it right. It feels like it's being designed by people who have never played the game. This game is called Ethnos. So, original Ethnos was good, but it was ugly, right? You had cards
New
that
edition.
really had, well, the old version had ugly cards and a terrible looking board and weird pieces that didn't stack well. And then they came out with this Architects whatever version, I don't remember the name.
Arceus?
Arceus Society, that's right. Which kind of redid it, but did it in a weird way where it took kind of the core mechanism of this kind of area control and turned it into tracks. And the tracks they weren't all that exciting, and there was a weird scoreboard. And then the new edition of Ethnos came out. And the new edition has artwork on it, right? The artwork looks nice. That board looks great, right? That's a useful board. But if you go back to that board...
It's okay.
Well, so you see there, you'll see all those colors, right? You see down in the bottom, there's a yellow region. If you go there to the top, there's a green region. What's that color down there in the bottom right?
Purple?
Okay, now go to that next slide again that you just had.
This one?
Which of those is the purple card?
The bunny? No.
You're looking at the symbols of the different factions. That bunny card is the purple. You'll see that you can tell it by that purple bar on the left of the card. You can see that big purple bar on the left of the card, right?
It's gray?
Yes. That's it's inexplicable choices. Yeah, so you know which region it is by that bar on the side, on the left side only. And for some reason, black is purple. And everyone thinks black is that middle region, which is white, and they think, okay, well that must be, yeah. It's
a white region?
That's the white region. And
it's
every time I've played, people have used the black cards to mean that region. And nobody thinks that region in the bottom right, the one that has those 3 green things in that yellow, nobody thinks that's black. You know why? Because it isn't.
Because it's purple? You can see the sakuras or like the Japanese like flowers.
It's real bad. It's real bad. And that makes the game difficult to play. Also, some of the factions are not really well designed. In fact, one of them is just misprinted, and the rules are inconsistent and contradict with the board as to what you do on it. The new edition of Ethnos...
Yeah.
See?
No, but this one, look, this picture looks a bit more gray.
Yeah.
Like if you look at it from the...
squint at it and turn the lights down, then it's gray. But if you go back to that color, that's not gray, it's black.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see.
Yeah, there you can see it. See? Um, Up there,
Yeah.
kind of next.
No, it's
Yeah,
black. It's
that's
like gray
black.
black
Hmm.
or black. Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, this game has a lot of potential. It's just that we still, after, I don't remember when the first one came out, but after this much time, still don't have a good
2015.
edition of it. It's 10 years, right?
Oh, 2017. Sorry.
No,
Almost.
that seems late, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Um, it's a long time, and a lot of people have touched it, but I don't know if any of those people actually played it. And
Yeah.
I
Haven't
wish
touched it.
also the cards in the old edition, every card said what it did on it. In the new edition, they decided to put on difficult to understand symbols because it doesn't matter if you know what the card does, right? But you do need to know, right? It's the new edition really let it down. And it makes me think, okay, well, I guess I have to go back to the old edition, but the old edition had lots of problems too. This is a game that needs to be redesigned by someone who likes the game and understands it and has a good sense for graphic design and will pay attention to the colors and will play test the game with people who don't already know it and put out an edition that gives the game all that it wants. And also, because, we're like told, okay, are we going to get expansions for it? I don't know. And if we do, I don't know that I want them for this edition because this edition sucks. And the old edition is ugly. And so we just need an Ethnos third edition by Awakened Realms where they'll give it the Castles of Burgundy treatment and give it all that it needs because they have proven themselves able to do that. And I'm real excited for their version of Agricola and Puerto Rico that are coming, right? Two games I already own and don't play
Hmm.
very often. Uh, Yet
Well,
I'm willing to pay lots of money for a nice version of them.
yeah, that's the one thing. Um, I don't. Sometimes I do understand you want to make a game that's language independent, so you don't have to have partnerships and print things in different languages. But not always do the symbols work. Sometimes you need the cards with the text. I hate this. I'm starting like I like symbols and cards and like, but if they are really well done, half of the time I encounter symbology in games. I'm furious because what's that and what's that? Oh, and this symbol, it kind of feels like I need to do this, and then I read it like, but how is it related to the like the symbology and the text are not related really?
Oh,
What did
if
it?
if
What were they thinking?
if you were to go to the symbols on these cards, you would have no idea what they do.
And, and yeah, whatever. I just I want people to put text on cards.
Oh, also there's a solo play version of this that totally sucks, and all the rules are not in the box either. So,
If it's not in the box, it sucks. All right, I'll do the last game. Then we have
okay,
to finish.
then we have to go.
Because this one, and I have several in my list, but this one I really want it to be redone into a pure adventure game with same idea, but with more puzzles. It's time stories. I want time stories that was given to me. No, look. I want time stories that was given to me the very first time, but without resetting the game again and again. Now, the blue cycle does it better because you have no crystals and it's so far I didn't have to reset the game even once with blue cycle scenarios, which is great. I I enjoyed the experience because I went through this game as a movie, and I want it because the first time you go through the game, it's like an adventure, a movie, or something like that. I want the same feeling. Lose the lose the theme about time traveling or something like that. Just create it's like these are different scenarios. Now you're that person in this world. Now you're that person in this world. You're searching for this mystery, whatever. Like these are just different scenarios. They are not connected to each other with subpar whatever plot. Like all they did nothing. There's no the overarching story was nonsense.
Hmm.
So just make different scenarios. This is in this theme. This is in that theme. Like Forgotten Waters, freelancers like Unlock does. But Unlock is humorous. Unlock is just puzzles and stuff. It's escape room game still. I wanted something between. I want the puzzles here. We move around. We choose locations. There might be some penalty for us taking very long time, etc. There might be, or maybe do a lot more checkpoints. Like if I reach a certain checkpoint, and if I die, I can go back to that checkpoint. Implement an app here because it was 2015. Now we have a lot
Yep.
more app technology. Implement an app where you can have like Destiny's does. Destiny's has these locations on a map. You click on them and stuff. It shows you the 3D map. Make that. I just want to experience time stories as it is. I like the whole RPG idea, rolling dice, and just you're easy. Like because when I played the time story for the first time, the rules are very simple.
That's true.
You look at the card, you describe the card. You are in a locked I don't know combat thing. You roll dice. That's it. The only thing, although the only thing I would lose this kind of you have to describe the card. Cannot show it. I would just lose it. It's clumsy. I'll just go here. I discovered this one. I can read it and then put it up this way. The panoramic stuff is great. We just play a cooperative game. We discover the locations. We do more puzzles, and there should be more puzzles, and we try to figure out how to end the game or something like that. Figure out how to progress. Find the hidden door or something like that. Do this kind of adventure with separate scenarios. You buy like a cassette, like a Final Girl. You buy a cassette stuff. You play it. New villain, new story. This is Egypt. This is expedition stuff. This is space themed. This is whatever pirate themed. So much potential, but somebody needs to do it.
Yeah, and this one also was kind of killed by its very irregular release schedule. It was the
Yes.
kind of game where you would wait for a really long time before the new one came out. I mean, had this one come out had they been able to commit and deliver consistent updates every month or at least every quarter, some of the later stuff would have done a little bit better. But the way it's going to be is the way it was with me, which is I got it, I loved it, I played the first 3, and then I was waiting, and the people I'd played with had gone away, and nobody wanted to join at episode 4. And then also lots of the later ones weren't very good. And
yeah, the thing is, so this is the Revolution one. They wanted to release it every quarter or something like that, but then it was like the whole year until we got a new one, and then the whole 1.5 years.
yeah, they're not
But
very
this one as
disciplined.
well.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, the Halo Project and Midsummer Night didn't come out 2020. Don't lie to
Mm-hmm.
me. I think they came out much later. This is the new cycle, Revolution. Then they put out
Yep.
Revolution Experience. Useless box, just forget it. And Cavendish came out like many years later, the latest
Mm-hmm.
Dimension one. And now they're
Yep.
silent. And as you can see, the more you go, the less of a rating you get because it's just
So they're not disciplined with a release schedule. And I understand it takes a lot of work to make these things, but what they really should have done was hold off, get a good kind of backlog, like Plaid Hat Games has done, right? They have enough summoners in the pipeline to come out with 2 every quarter. That's what
Yeah.
they've committed to do. And, okay, maybe not forever until the end of time, but they've been very consistent with saying, okay, this quarter we're releasing these 2. They've done it with Ashes too, right? They've put out a new Red Rains box every 3 or 4 months, and I know that it's coming, right? And so it gets me back excited about the game again. And it's not like, okay, geez, I wish
Yeah.
there were going to be more, but will there? Is it going to take 6 years? And this one, they've been really undisciplined with that. And
And
that's
they
kind
keep
of,
promising and promising. Yeah, it's you can see 926 because people were like, and I put that's a good rating because I was like, ooh, they revised it. It works. I really like it. The scenario is good. And the last one, 133 votes. Just
yeah.
so few votes because while people were waiting for this newest scenario, they already forgot time stories exist. And I'm so disappointed because I I loved time stories. I would say I cannot say I love it. I loved the some scenarios. It was amazing experience. It was out of this world. Nothing else was like it. And then they ruined it.
Yeah. All right.
I think that's it.
That's probably enough.
We had enough change. There were a few more. I'll just name what I put on the list.
Oh.
Just two of these. Homesteaders. Small thing. Yeah, you know, Endless Winter. You probably know why. Panamax. I don't want to discuss, but more of a rulebook component stuff. Sanctum would be a good choice to revise because of the end game, especially, and London Dread because of the end game. The London Dread thing was the first phase was great. The second phase was really bad.
Yeah, it does kind of fall apart.
So, what did you have on the list?
Oh, I had Blood on the Clock Tower. I had Jerusalem. I don't
know that one. Okay.
It works well only at 3 or 4 players, and it's a completely different game at other counts, and a lot of the symbols don't make a lot of sense, and there's some color issues. Everdell, I would love to see, they keep redoing it, but I wish they'd redo regular Everdell and give me the kind of streamlined version of that.
Yeah. With the expansions, yeah.
I had Storm Raiders, which feels like it has a lot of potential, but just feels like something's missing. And then Seventh Continent. I recognize that there's Seventh Citadel, but I'm kind of wishing we would go back to the original and make it more the kind of a game that I can just pick up and play.
Yeah. It would have been like the same as with time stories as well. Like just pick a card, read what's in there, you move forward. Because Seventh Continent was bloated. It was just. I thought it would be like you go here, you read that, you go forward, but no. So many rules, so many symbols, so much
and
stuff.
It's wander around aimlessly, right? You could play for 6 hours and play a full game and not even scratch the surface of the quest you were supposed to be.
Yeah. I think it was something like that. We didn't get far, and I'm like,
Citadel does it better, but Citadel's still kind of a mess.
Yeah. Anyway, so many games that we love to get changed, get revised, get
That's right.
improved. But sometimes it just doesn't happen. But sometimes we are surprised. Surprised, like, oh, they revised this game. That's great. I'm gonna back it now and pay $379 for it.
Hey. Plus shipping.
Yeah, plus shipping.
All right.
Plus $65 shipping. Gosh, how much money is it? No. You can buy Nintendo Switch 2 for that money, which is also expensive.
True. That's true. It is. Anyway, that's not related.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching.
Yep.
We see you another time.
Absolutely.
And let's hope let's hope the StreamYard works now. We can end this.
Let's hope so. All right.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.